June is Pride Month. We just had Pride weekend, and today we're highlighting mental health within the LGBTQ plus community. Those who identify as LGBTQ plus are at higher risk for mental health issues than heterosexual people, more than twice as likely.
So joining us now, our family psychologist, Dr. Sheryl Ziegler. Always good to see you. So is this obvious because of the stress that is often put on LGBTQ families and people in LGBTQ communities?
Absolutely. It starts when they're young, right? There's this natural stage of confusion and then maybe realizing that, oh, I feel different than my peers. And then you keep that to yourself. That's the main part of this, is how much it's kept to themselves. And so there's a long process where you start to see things like stigma. You start to see things that maybe feel like, well, if I came out, this wouldn't feel supportive of me. What would happen? Would I be in danger? Would my family be in danger? Would they support me? So it's oftentimes many years of contemplating this. And so throughout that process, yes, they experience prejudice and discrimination, sometimes when they even try to do some things or try to, do something different. And so that reinforces that feeling of maybe this doesn't feel safe.
I would think too, sometimes long term, if you fake it because you're feeling like you don't feel safe to come out, that causes more problems sometimes long term with your mental health.
Absolutely. I mean, what we know is that it's depression and anxiety that are highest in the LGBTQ plus community. And so a lot of that is really not being able to be your authentic self, and especially with your family. So that becomes the hardest part. So when we look at the stages, the second to last stage is coming out to close friends, but the very last stage is usually coming out to your family. And that's, I think, so important that they feel their family members may not be accepting.
And coming out, we hear these marvelous stories of people coming out and finding acceptance. We also hear horror stories of people coming out and finding themselves completely, become a pariah in their own lives. Are we getting better at it? I mean, how do you make it so that it is not as significant, like that you hopefully could come out one day and just go on with your day?
Well, there's a couple of things that are happening. What we're getting better at is awareness conversation like we're having right now, and so many large brands, this was a big Pride Month, right? So that part is great. However, what's still really happening in actuality is that people who are LGBTQ plus talk about huge boundaries and barriers to getting treatment. They have very little access to it. There's probably not enough support, not enough people in mental health even trained around these issues. And then the other part is really this depression, which we're talking 4 times more likely to attempt suicide than the average population. So we have made strides in terms of talking about it and having awareness, but we certainly have not made near enough strides around the actual mental health and process of what this is actually like.
So what do they do? Where are these resources? I mean, even if you want to be a supportive friend or family member, what's your recommendation?
Yeah, one of my first recommendations is really going to the Trevor Project. Okay. They've got a great website. They have a texting line. They have a call line that's available 24/7. I was actually on it today, and there was a message on the top that said, due to the high demand, we might be a little slower to respond. So there are people that are really looking for this kind of help. So I say go there, and then I say for families that are listening, just know, I hope that resonates with them, that if you have a child that maybe they want to come out to you around some part of this, to be open, loving, and unconditionally accepting.
Well, it's a challenging road still for many, and that information from the Trevor Project that we had on the screen and we'll be posting as well at 9news.com, hopefully is an asset and an ally for people if they can't find it elsewhere, or if somebody wants to learn more about how to be an ally. It's a great way to start.
Absolutely.
Dr. Sheryl Ziegler, thanks as always.
Thank you.